Hello, Bhavani here. First video, and I just wanted to bring you through this project that I made yesterday for Christmas. So, the general idea for this accordion book came from Natasha from Treasure Books, but there's a nice bit on it. So, this is like a bag. You can carry it like a bag. This is a clip that I ended up having to make, an altered paper clip that I ended up having to make because I needed to find a way to keep the book closed. So, yeah, so this book, it can stand this way when you make it stand. And I'll just show you how I made it. The paper is from Kaiser, Kaisercraft Mint and Mistletoe. I bought it when it was on sale, which is the only time I buy craft things. Okay, so basically, you will need paper that you want to use. Since this paper is double-sided, first I used 4 different papers and I get 8 different designs. Okay. So these are the 4 I used. And flip it over, you get 8 different designs. So I chose my paper. I needed to use something that was a little bit thicker for the covers. So something that is thicker than normal paper. This is actually from snail mail. Well, no, not snail mail, junk mail. Feels bad saying junk mail because they would have spent so much printing it, but anyway, you get what I mean. So two of it for the covers, and then I wrapped it up with the paper that I picked was the green one. And then basically what you're doing is I decided to take dimensions that allowed me to just use 6 by 6, 6 inches by 6 inches paper, so that I could cut the 12-inch one down easily without having to do too much measuring. So, um, so I wrapped this up first, and then I stuck the first one down, which is 6 inches by 6 inches. And this distance here is about 1.5 inches. And I kept it pretty standard. So from here to here is 4.5 inches. And then I just make a fold at 1.5 inches. Now you can just eyeball it, but I did 1.5 inches for all my papers, so I knew I wouldn't screw it up. So anyway, so I stuck the first one, and then what you do is you take the next piece of paper, stick it behind, and you will have another 1.5 inches here that you can see. And then you stick the other paper behind or in front, depending on what it is you want to do. And yeah, you just keep going. So flat sheets, and when you reach the final page, you won't actually need that other 1.5 inches on the last row. You won't actually need the other 1.5 inches on this one. So this paper will just be 4.5 inches. And then you stick it onto the last piece. And then what I did was place eyelets. Now I'm still figuring out the best way to do eyelets. I'm still not happy with the way they look, but I guess if it doesn't bother you too much, I'm learning to let go, which is what crafting is supposed to be teaching me. So I'm learning to let go if it's not perfect. So eyelets 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I decorated it with Christmas stuff. So it's all from the same set. There was one piece of paper. There was one piece of paper that actually had all of these card kind of words printed on it. I don't know if you can see it. So anyway, so I cut those out. So I put the first one here. The second one, because this paper is very dark, it's very dark blue, so you can't actually write on it. So I used some other paper that I had, and this is where I put my signature so that the person who's receiving this gift knows that it's fully homemade. And then the next one, so like I said, the dark blue was very dark, and they had printed on black on it, and it was very hard to read. So I went over it with a white. Whoops, stuff just flew off the table. So I went over it with a white Posca pen. This is the 1mm1, and I just drew my own stuff on it. So this is a little pocket made from offcuts of the paper. Oh, so all of these pockets I made using offcuts. So what that means is, so example, I used this paper for the cover and the last page, but I did not like using this plain brown, so you won't see that in this project. But excuse me. So this type of offcut is what I use to make these pockets. So to make the pockets, just make sure that they fit within the folds. And then I rounded the corners, and I put a little notch here so whoever's receiving it knows it's actually a pocket. And it's easy to take stuff out or put stuff back in. Mm, this thing, I actually made it a long time ago when I was just playing around with stuff from this set when I first got it. But anyway, another two pockets. So you can, another two cards, not pockets, two tags really. And I was thinking that it can be used as a bookmark, or if you tie the knot differently, it can become an ornament that you can hang on the tree. So that's the next page. This one I used same of cut, and I made a belly band. Let me just clear this up. So belly band, just with some pretty paper that you can still use as a journaling point, a journaling area, and another note. So yeah, this is how dark paper was actually is. So you can't really read or write on this one if you don't put something like that. And then the last pocket, and this is another handmade card that I made, and I ran this through an embossing folder. Also made this quite a while ago when I started playing around with embossing folders. So if you touch it, there's actually a lot of texture. So I plan to write the Christmas greetings on here, and then it sits here. So ideally, this can be displayed with all of these little cards and whatnot. And hopefully, you know, it's something that they like receiving. So if you use single-sided paper, then the back of the book will all be white, I guess. But since I used double-sided, it's pretty on the back. So if you wanted to decorate the back the same way you've decorated the front, you can. And then after that, oh, so when it comes to this ribbon, I originally wanted to use this one, because I thought it was kind of Christmassy and it goes with the silver eyelet, but I could not thread this through the beads that I wanted to use. These aren't the beads I originally wanted to use. I wanted to use beads that were green and white, sort of Christmas color. So, but I could not thread this through it, and I was getting frustrated. And then I changed to this sort of string. So this type of string, much easier to thread. Oh, I realize it's a bit hard. So much easier to thread, and just have to make sure that both sides are even. So this is the back, right? And then it looks cute and everything, but it doesn't really, unless I want to make it stand like a teepee. I needed to close it. So my wonderful husband asked if I had a clip or something, and then I realized now I know how to make an altered paper clip. So once again, using offcuts, we had a lot of offcuts of this green paper because I didn't really like using this sheet. So yeah, so we've got a lot of offcuts of that paper, and I put this here and just clip it on. So this is actually an altered paper clip which I like making, and I maybe might make a video or something showing you how to make an altered paper clip. So yeah, so this is a gift that I will be giving to a very, very lovely friend next week for Christmas. So that was my first, well, this is my first video, and I hope you learned something interesting. Next time, if I have figured stuff out and I've decided that I will do step by steps, I might actually show you how I make this. But, but, I don't know. It's pretty chaotic when I'm crafting. I think all the people who make crafting videos they plan out what they're going to do and they've got stuff figured out, and I'm just kind of winging it as I go. But anyway, so now I will play back this video and see what it sounds like. Bye!